All right. Good morning, Joanna. How are you? Can you hear us?
I can't hear you. I'm trying to find this out.
I can hear you. Can you hear me?
I feel like pretty upset. We can hear you.
Joanna, I want you to look at my hat. And never wear that stupid Cubs hat again, Joanna.
Get all that stuff out now.
That's right. Look how angry I am about this. Wait, she's not even looking at it.
It's not fair. I can't hear you.
That's what you get for wearing a Cubs hat. The goat has cursed your computer. Is anyone else going to be here this morning?
I think it's just us.
Rod and Brian aren't going to be here?
Rod's dropped out.
Oh, has he?
Yeah, he just the time commitment. He said he wasn't prepared for today. So I think it's just making him feel a little like he's not following through on his commitment. So, I mean, I understand that. It's a challenge, right?
Yeah.
So I think maybe we'll do a State of the Union here a little bit when we get Joanna back up.
Considering it's Saturday mornings, do you think it's worthwhile like skipping a week or every other week? Or no, I'm pretty good with it, but I understand too. Since it's a Saturday, maybe, I don't know. Joanna's gonna have to call in.
Yeah, maybe I'll put her on my phone.
She's typing away pretty viciously.
I'm like,
Chris, I saw a nutritionist yesterday. I'm having inflammation, like swelling in my knees, and I have prostatitis where my prostate's like swollen a little. Luckily, it's not cancer or anything, but anyway, I'm telling you that because she told me to stop eating any type of chicken or eggs.
really?
And no dairy whatsoever.
Yeah, I'm going on a cut.
Yeah.
Yep, I'm going on what I guess bodybuilders call a cut.
Okay.
So you're really not supposed to eat dairy anyway. It's really inflammatory to your system.
Yeah.
You take saw pimento?
Yeah. Yep.
You do? All right. Yeah, the other thing you might want to consider is turmeric. Turmeric is a great anti-inflammatory.
Yep. I take that like 1,000 milligrams a day right now.
I take a lot more than that.
Oh, do you really? Okay. Well, maybe I'll up it.
So first thing in the morning when you wake up, warm glass of water, turmeric, apple cider vinegar. Take it with you can drink that. Then I alternate those mornings. The other mornings I take warm water with probiotics, and then I'll drink warm water with lemon juice.
Oh, how much apple cider?
In the morning.
How much apple cider vinegar are you taking?
I drink, it's about 2 cups. It's about a teaspoon per cup. So you dilute it because it's very acidic.
1 teaspoon per cup. So 2
Warm water.
teaspoons.
Yeah. Warm water though, in the morning. It's really cleansing for your system.
It's called coffee, dude.
Yeah.
Yeah, but she was saying chicken is like just naturally, chicken has a lot of hormones and especially estrogen in it, just naturally, like regardless of how it's raised. And
the other one you might want to consider is I just started on this. I'm researching it right now, but apparently one of the things that you want to do is you want stuff that's going to build testosterone, but you also want stuff that's going to block estrogen production. And the best food for that, cruciferous vegetables and white button mushrooms. So you want to, mushrooms have stop the conversion from one chemical that I forget the name of to estrogen. So there's an intermediate process, when you create testosterone, then it goes to amylase or something or other, and then it goes to estrogen. And white button mushrooms apparently block that. So there's this guy that I'm thinking of signing up for his newsletter or whatever it is. That's 55 years old, and the guy looks in great shape.
Yeah.
Essentially,
right.
Look, it's weird. It's asparagus. It's broccoli. It's what your grandma told you to eat. Eat your veggie.
I know.
Veggie, salads, onions, garlic, all that kind of stuff. Grass-fed beef. Stay off the cheese, the dairy, and the gluten. Gluten's is a really big inflammatory, and apparently it's bad for guys.
I know.
Sorry, I was out of town, and I'm trying to figure out the sound connection. I got in at 1 a.m. last night. I hate not being here. I may move to Brian's computer. Okay.
Oh, I didn't see that.
All right. I don't think Brian's going to be on the call because he just moved his transition. He transitioned from Remax to this one.
All right. Can you tell that rivalry runs deep, Chris?
No, not at all.
Do you have any teams? Are you into sports at all like that?
I used to love professional baseball growing up, and then I lived through the 2 strikes.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, I was a huge Mets fan.
Oh, yeah, I bet. I was going to say Yankees or Mets for you for sure, huh?
Oh, you had to choose. Channel 9. Channel 9 had the Mets on. It was Dave Kingman, Tom Seaver. Man, I watched all those games. Watched them all the time.
Yeah.
I went on strike, and I'm like, they're striking? And you know what did it for me? It was Brett. Oh, God, what's his name? He played for the Phillies. And I remember him saying, it's like, look, this strikes, hits all of us hard. I was trying to close a land deal. And I'm like,
yeah.
Oh, I feel bad for you.
I've got to wait for my Bentley until this is over.
Yeah, and all of a sudden it stopped being, fun for me. But then the Mets went into the World Series, the Cubbies,
Uh-huh.
Like I got kind of back into it again, but then I had my friend who played professional football, and again, very, very different perspective on things when he had broken his toe, and they refused to X-ray him. They wanted him to play.
Yeah.
Used X-ray him. So I remember I'm sitting with him at dinner. I mean, here's a big, and he's like breathing like he's in a Maz class. He's like, he's sweating while I'm like, what is going on? He's like, oh man, I'm just so much pain. And I'm like, go to the freaking doctor. And so he says, oh yeah. The X-ray has a broken toe. And what they did is they go, look, Glenn, you got to play. And they injected him. So it was on his foot. He's an offensive lineman. He played the rest of the season on a broken foot. Broken big toe. Any other player other than offensive lineman, they would have had him out. But
yeah, sure. They take out a receiver for turf toe.
Yeah. So it was one of those things. It was a little crazy.
Yeah. Hold on. Let me let the dog out of my room. Come on. Well, Chris, it feels like you and I run off everybody in mastermind groups.
I understand. Well, I was thinking about this. So when Rod dropped out, Rod kind of joined because he wanted to support me, and I don't know if that's I appreciate that, right? I really do. But I think we want people who really want to develop their keynote speech.
Yeah.
I think Rod, being the CEO of a business, this is it's a side gig kind of a thing. So, and I understand that.
Yeah.
What I want is people like you and I that we're looking to develop our keynote speech and our vision.
Yeah, we want that. That's more our prime focus versus his, right?
Yeah. So, and I understand that. So when it's not your prime focus, then it's hard to commit to it. So my thought is I think we're ready to, I think we can lay out a format and monetize this for both of us. And what I'd like to do is propose that we take the format, iron it out, because I think we learned a lot from this. I think is create the 6-week program, create the programs just like you're doing for your coaching.
Mm-hmm.
We developed coaching, but we developed the program for the keynote speech. And the reason why I say it's we want to do it every week is, look, if I'm trying to develop a speech for a TED Talk, every other week, I might not speak for a month and a half.
Yeah.
And I don't know if that's, I want people who are aggressively looking to become better speakers.
Yeah.
And so I think, and I truly believe that people will pay for it because they want a safe place to speak. Do you know what I mean?
Yep.
It's not.
Yeah.
Hello. Oh,
Hey, it's Joanna.
I had to do it on my phone. Sorry.
No, sorry.
Well, I just hate not being prepared. I didn't realize, I forgot my monitor got switched out while I was out of town and nothing got reset. So,
That's the curse of that hat. That's the curse of that hat, Joanna.
No curse. There's no curse. So you found I'm sorry to come in the middle of that conversation. So you're looking to join a TED Talks group?
No, Rod broke up with us.
Oh.
So, well, I mean, look, Rod's, he's the CEO. He's, that's a full-time, more than full-time kind of a job.
Sure, of course.
When you're running your own company like that. Okay. And he just said, look, I'm having trouble making my commitments. I'm not prepared. And, nobody wants to feel like they're letting other people down. So right. I completely understand where he's coming from. Mm-hmm. But, I think, look, for me, this is working.
Me too.
And I feel like what we're looking for is people who are very serious about becoming better speakers. And it, not as a kind of a side thing, but it's like, look, I'm looking to develop this and become a better speaker. And
do you think it's too broad of a reach to post and train the trainer that we're interviewing for slots? I mean, there's a lot of us out there that are doing this on their own.
Yep.
And I really like that we speak a lot of the same language.
Yeah. So what do you think, Matthew? I think that's a good idea. I'd like to reach out and say, look, we've developed a mastermind group. But the other piece is that I think this is at the point where it's monetizable.
Agreed.
I think we've gotten to the point where we can take this platform, we can roll it out and start like saying, look, it's a 6 weeks course, $500, or whatever it is a month, or it's a 3-month course, $500, and you get to develop your keynote speech, right? You got a soft place where you can
play. People take it seriously.
Well, believe me, when you pay for it, and they'll weed themselves out. People who are doing it as a side thing, they might just do it for fun, and if they don't show up, that's fine. But there's going to be people like myself, like I'm committed to this. Like I know what I want to do with it. I know, and I want to develop this. And I think we spoke about this, and I know Brian's not on today because he's crazy with the new trends.
Yeah, I kicked him out of the house.
But I think the four of us, including Brian, I think he's very serious about it. He's just got his challenges right now. Is I see this, and Matt and I have spoken about this, is developing this into an event.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, that was.
Are you thinking like since we're kind of the pioneers of this, like you, Chris, would take 5 more people and run your own group. Joanna would run her own group, and then I would run my own group. And then it's kind of like you get paid, like that? Or is it like there's 5 of us or 4 of us now, and we're going to bring 2 people in and split that and all work together, or completely branch out?
Well, I think I'd like to keep this group as a regular, because then it's still developing the format.
Yep.
But I think we should go out and look to, what I think it is look to monetize it. Let's get down what we think is the script, right? Let's call it a 3-month commitment,
Mm-hmm.
right? Because I think that gives people enough chance to speak, right? And I like the idea of the 5-minute speeches. Like, so I think I think maybe let's agree that we're gonna talk about the structure today. Since we had kind of our main speaker drop out, we were gonna do impromptu speeches. Would you guys be okay if we said for this meeting we'll be talking about the structure of the mastermind group?
Yeah.
Ideas?
For sure.
Are you guys okay with that?
Yep.
Okay, so first, this is the way I see it. Let's develop what the 6-week program and who speaks. And my thought was like this: look, if you are not prepared for your speech or don't show up for it, that's perfectly fine. But you have to wait. Your slot was then. You got to wait till your next slot comes up.
Yep.
It's not like, okay, I missed it. Can I go next week? If you prepare beforehand, say, look, I'm out of town that week, and you do that, that's perfectly fine. But if you cancel at the last minute, you just have to wait till the next time that you do it. I mean, it's not against you, right?
Right. Yeah. I mean, some things might come up that are more important. It just doesn't need to throw everybody else's schedule off.
Right. It shouldn't be like, wait a second, now my slot gets bumped. Like, I'm preparing, I'm getting ready for this thing. I know it's coming, and we'll get to see who's serious about it. Right. But that's why I think also turning it into a paid group is we're not going to get people who are halfway in. Right. Or if they're halfway in, they'll pay, and then they'll either show up or they won't. Right. Yeah. And it'll be up to them. But I think what will happen is you'll get people who are much more serious about it. So I think, so let's talk a little bit about the structure. So for me, I just want to get an idea. Like, for me, this is working. Mm-hmm. I mean, hearing like Matthew speak, hearing Joanna, you speak, and all the other people speak, I'm like, ooh, that was good. I like what they did. Mm-hmm. And saying what worked for me and what you could prove, it's like teaching myself. I'm like, I'd rather do that.
Oh, absolutely, yes.
I didn't realize. That's good feedback. I could probably use that myself.
There's no other way to practice. I mean, even if it's just Brian and me, I'm not going to do a presentation in front of him. It's going to be the same. That just doesn't, it's not enough feedback. I already know what he's going to say. He's going to interrupt me. I mean, it's just like if you did it with, even if you and Matt were in the same room, it's that number of people that you're actually presenting to and getting different perspectives that works, in my opinion. And for me, speaking's my number one. Well, it is my number one thing because it gets my message out. So I'm with you as far as it is working, like working as I call it work, and there's really not much else I'd rather do on a Saturday morning. So really, truly geeky as that is, it just is. I wasn't, you meant like work as in it's working as in functioning, or is it work as in you're putting it in your job week? But either way it applies.
I mean, is it something that you're getting value from?
Oh, absolutely. I mean, where else can I practice what I want to say to people that know what know what to tell me to do versus, oh, that was nice. Or this is, and I think that's why reaching out to people that have been through Train the Trainer or that have been through a significant amount of public speaking training, that they know what they're bringing value with their feedback, bringing a level of expertise to their presentation that we're not starting with like a Toastmasters level.
Yeah.
Right. I agree. I think starting with the Train the Trainer people and all Jack's group is a great way to start because it'll help us keep polishing it. and I think they'll all be on board and like it as much as we do. And then after, I don't know, a session or two, we can probably branch out to anybody then who wants to speak.
Yeah.
So,
because I look at it, so I'll use an example as Ronnie St. Pucci, right? So she had a TED Talk scheduled, and she's gone through Train the Trainer and those kind of pieces. But, she was working on her slides. She was working on, I was helping her develop her slides. But, most people like, okay, I'm going to do this. Like, let me go somewhere where I can develop my speech and be ready for it. So yeah. I think you're invited to do a TED Talk and you want someplace, or you're invited to do a speech and you're saying, okay, I really want to nail this. I want to perfect it. All right. So I like the idea of the Train the Trainer group. I think we should probably reach out to people here. We'll probably should talk about, should we just add, I think what you said, Joanna, says we're interviewing, right?
Well, I think they need to be screened, just so that we know they're not derailing our project and that they're a fit for what we want, because nobody wants to pay for something they didn't know they were going to get. And we don't want to bring people in that aren't helping us with a mission. So, whether you want us to take turns having this, if you get 20 responses and you're like, hey, you call these people, you call these people, here's maybe the question, some of the things we can develop today, or what are the questions we have for these people, or what do we want to find out, their commitment level.
Yeah.
How can we build a group with the right people?
Right. Yeah. So I think that's a good idea. I'm trying to, so for me, I'd like to know what the structure is, like that kind of piece out.
I think writing like a quick manual that we could email out to the new members would be good too. Because what we could also do is maybe write down some of the, we could all write down just what you've got out of it, maybe some tips, maybe some books we've read. I know we talked about books last time. Maybe, write down like, don't have your slides too wordy. No words on the bottom of the slide. Excuse me. Don't overdo them. Maybe some bullet pointed, like, things that we could put in a manual. And then the manual would also say, hey, this is an hour long, the structure's here. Every week we will determine who's next, but as a guideline, it's going to be this. Something like that. I don't know. Do you think that would be helpful?
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. I think that's a good idea. I think these are all good ideas to professionalize this and make it, worth people's dollar, right?
Okay.
Saying, look, these
print it out on fancy paper.
Well, nobody wants to be the guinea pig. I think we'll come across better if we have like you said, Chris, early on, structure. This is the plan. And then, if we set a date here in the future for us to say, okay, by April 1st or whatever day, we're going to have enough of a structure that if Jack popped into our call, he'd go, wow, they've got this thing rolling.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, and Jack said to me, if you start this thing, I'd be interested in getting on the call. So I'm at that point where I'm ready to invite him, but we'll have to stick to our structure. And then maybe we have a, so I'll put it this way. Let's work on I'll work on what the structure is. I think that's probably a good place to start.
Mm-hmm.
Well, what do you want to work on? we've already written it out.
Well, I like it. So I like the idea of a manual. I think we're interviewing for our Keynote Mastermind group. How many people do we want total? So Rod dropped off, Brian. So we're looking really for 2 more people.
I think 6 is a good number, because when we're all here and we're following the structure, it does keep it to pretty close to an hour. We get to hear from one speaker. We still have room for the ad lib or impromptu if we need it or want it.
Yeah.
I agree.
Are we still treating it like a pilot, or are we going to, what I'm saying is, like, if we're going to be inviting 2 people, are we looking for people who are going to be developing it with us, or are we looking for hey, it's $500 kind of thing and just see what happens?
I say we get started. we've got a structure. We've worked out some of the bugs as far as having a system in place about, having a backup speaker ready. And I agree with you on the having to get it moved away, like if you miss your spot, but the whole point of the backup speaker is so that we don't waste the time. Mm-hmm. So if someone does fall out, someone else can come in, and they've got to go wait till their next time up. But anyway, I think we've worked out some of those operational bugs already.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
And having new people in will force us even more to follow a structure, because we'll need to get through the meeting.
And then what I'd say is maybe we set up a time for us for the structure development piece, like this kind of a meeting where we're talking about more. Because I love this idea of a manual, and I think it could start out kind of briefly, like, look, here's the guidelines. When you do your speech, it's point, story, application. Mm-hmm. And what we're looking for you to do, and I just want to talk through and just make sure we're all on the same page. What we're really looking to do is, first, do you connect with people? Right? That is you want to get your message across. First, did I connect with you? Did you achieve that? Second one was, did you get your message across? Because look, I'll tell you, as a stand-up comic, I can connect with people. I may not have a message, right? Other than I just want people to laugh, right? So what you want to do is, do you have did you connect with people, and then did your message land? And those are the two key pieces, and we'll put it with it, because that's the way I see it. Connect, message, point, story, application. Did you end with like me going, gosh, I want to do that, or I want more?
Mm-hmm. I think that's the advantage of starting with Canfield Group, is everyone has a message.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That part's almost a given, and we'll help make sure the message is delivered better, is heard.
We're familiar enough with to know what the message is, even if it's not their own.
Exactly. And then once we're a little better at the critiquing part of it, that's when we can open it up to anybody who's giving a talk on, animal safety or some shit, because then we'll know the points and stuff. So
interesting how your mind works. Animal safety.
Or a trip to Nicaragua. I don't know. Use your imagination here. So. But no, I do like that. Now, I tell you what, I liked at first when we were talking, I like the idea of like this Saturday morning, like this is just maybe our founders group. Mm-hmm. I don't know, but we could give it maybe a trial run of, like you said, 4 or 5 weeks, 6 weeks, get 2 more people in as paying customers. And then we just go through the motions, keep developing ourselves and see how it goes. And then after that one's done, maybe those 2 people drop off because their paid time is over. And then like the 4 of us just stay on Saturday mornings to work on, because then if we're ready to branch off, we might want to come together and talk like, hey man, last week it was weird for me because of this, or, maybe we can, I don't know. Does that make sense? Or
the renewal because they're the chemistry is not right, but it doesn't, one person won't squirrel our group because we know there's a timeline. Mm-hmm. And truthfully, the people that might see the most value in this, they may not need it 52 weeks a year. They may be somebody that's putting a presentation together or does have the TED Talk, and then they're going to be taking a break for 6 months. So it may be really relevant to do these in smaller sections.
Yeah, the one that comes up for me is really kind of 3 months, right? I think that's a good time frame. It gives you plenty of time to develop your speech and hear other people talk and get your feedback, because it gives you enough time on task. Mm-hmm. Right? With 6 people, every 3 weeks you're given a talk. And so what I would say is here's my idea. I think for the next 2 weeks, I'm going to propose that we work on the structure. Okay. And we do our interviews. So what I'm going to do is I'll put out, we're interviewing for our Keynote Mastermind group. It's $500 for 3 months, and we're starting in 3 weeks from today.
Whatever the first week in April is, I guess.
Yeah, so let's call it, I'm going to just pull up this. Sorry, I'm pulling up my calendar while I'm looking at it here.
That's all right.
So we'll say March. So instead of starting on April 1st, what do we say? So this 1, 2, 3, that's 4 weeks. Well, I think we could start on April 1st. So this is no joke.
That's one of my wedding anniversaries, so I always chuckle a little bit. Everybody thought it was a bad idea, and it really was. Good first.
All right, so are we okay? So we have then essentially 3 weeks to work on our structure, manual, these kind of pieces. We'll kind of put the pieces together, and then we'll plan on starting April 1st with a new round.
Sounds good. Do you want to delegate some of the portions of this so that we could each kind of work on something of the structure or the format? What can we do to?
Well, I like the idea of someone kind of being the leader of the group once the new people are in, just to give those people structure too. So it's not like we have 4 people who think they're leading this group.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Like, if Chris, you want to go first, or Joanna, that's fine. But just like maybe one of us should kind of be the mastermind lead, and then the rest of us can kind of just play the role to help the other people and just see how the flow goes.
Yeah, I mean, I think, Chris, this was you got this off the ground, so I'm perfectly comfortable with you keeping the charge. I'm just saying, what can we take off your plate to make this easier and get multiple ideas? I mean, maybe we all say, okay, by next Friday, we pitch in our ideas for the manual, and I'm sure we'll have a lot of the same ideas, and somebody may have new ideas. You were talking about structure, which is critical. I'm just saying, how can we pitch in for this?
I'll tell you what, do you guys want to reach out to the Canfield mastermind groups and say, hey, look, or is there people that you connected with at the Canfield group, say, look, we've got a Keynote mastermind group. Before I open this up to the general public, I'm giving you first right of refusal. All right. So I have some people that I'd be interested in reaching out to first, who experienced when I said this before. So I'd say, why don't we reach out to our first picks to it, and say, look, this is what we're doing. I want to find out your level of interest. It's it's a $500 for a 3-month group, and and see what the responses are. And then I think the following week we look to open it up. So I would say, so let's reach out to our first picks, like people who we think we already have chemistry with, people who we'd like to be in this group, who are potential founding members, future founding members, right?
Okay.
But like I said, there's a couple of people that I think off the top of my head, it's like those are people I'd like to have in this group.
Okay.
Okay.
So
that's good, because I don't have anybody that comes off to the top of my head like that.
Well, you don't really connect with people, so.
I apparently didn't.
Well, I'm doing Train the Trainer online, so I haven't met a lot of. I mean, I've been to 2 BTSs, but I haven't met a lot of people. I know they exist because I see it every day online.
Yeah.
Who's building talks, but I know Brian's got a couple of people in a mastermind that I know who they are, and they might be a fit too. So between the two, I think there's some people we'd want to ask. But I like that idea, Chris, of since we do
pick our people, right?
Well, and that's, with 2 spots, it's not a lot to cover.
Right. I like that too, because once we put it out on the interweb, if people really like the idea and we get 20 responses, and we're gonna have to go a different direction.
Yeah, so, we will have to each run a group.
Yeah.
Well, and look, I think that's the idea. So I want to just talk high level here. So this is the way I see it. Let's first reach out to people individually, but either way, we're going to put it out on the Canfield group and see what kind of responses we get. Because you're right. If all of a sudden we have 20 people go, oh my God, I totally do that.
Yeah.
And I think we have to pivot and decide, okay, this is our founding group, and then we're going to go out and we're going to develop these on our own. And because I'm looking to move away from what I'm normally doing.
Right.
And I could see this as being one of the ways to do that. It's a good development piece. And what's interesting is if you're running the group, right, it's not necessarily you're speaking. You're like, okay, let's do our new and good today. And you just have the person say, Matthew, would you please give us our invocation for day? Like, you don't even, I think I'd like to try that kind of thing. So like, okay, you're going to do it, and Joanna, will you please be the timekeeper? And you just pick the people. Okay, I picked Joanna this week. Next week, it's going to Brian. You're going to give us our invocation today, and Matt, you're the timekeeper. And you just, instead of taking that extra few seconds while people go, I don't want to do the invocation. Is somebody else going to volunteer? Just do it.
Yeah.
Are you guys seeing this as we will participate? Like, let's say I get my own 5 people or 6 people. Am I just the facilitator? And like, I could be the timekeeper and all that, and I just keep the structure rolling, and I never present to the group, but I can give feedback, but I'll never present.
I'm not sure. I think it depends on the way that you want to do it.
Okay.
Well, it got big, and we just had our founders present to each other, because I would rather, I mean, I'm sure there'll be some great people to join us, but I see, like you're saying, the monetization opportunity here. But I think if that went that direction, because we had such high level participation, that we would need to maybe on our structure call, one of us go each week, so we get to practice something.
Yeah.
But I'm with you on making it worthwhile from a good design and structure. And then if it does happen to have an opportunity to really be financially beneficial quickly, I'm good with adapting, but not missing opportunity to train myself.
Yeah. That's what I mean. For this group, I want to keep doing that. And then you can decide, look, if you're running 3 groups, do you want to talk 3 times a week? Maybe you do.
Right.
Or maybe you're like, look, I'm running this group, and I picked the group. We've only got 5 people, and I'm going to plan on speaking on that one. I'll speak at this group, and then I'll revamp it and speak to the second group and get a different set of feedback. So you can do the same speech if you wanted to. I think it really depends on ways. The way I see it is, this is going to be my group where I'm developing my speech from you guys. And then depending on how many people I have in the other groups, I'll either speak or I won't speak. Because I could see it like, I'm running the group. What I'm going to do is, all right, guys, so just to remind you that, when you do your feedback, first thing is what worked for me.
Yeah.
Okay. And then what was the improvement opportunity? So I'm going to go first to demonstrate it. And then you give your feedback, and okay, Joanna, will you please go next? And then you have each person do it, and then you're timing it, and you go, okay, Joanna, you got about a minute left on your feedback. And then, so you're kind of policing it, right?
Yeah. I like the idea that first meeting would be, maybe we give a 15-minute presentation, take a few minutes to walk through the structure and everything, and then say, I'm going to go first, and then I want you guys to critique me, give me feedback, we'll see how it's going to go. And then as we move forward, that first meeting, it's like, you're going this week, you're going this week, you're going this week, you're going this week. And then, if we need to trade or whatever, be prepared, that's fine. But like you said, if you miss your slot, you don't get to just jump in. And then that would be the only time I talk, because that might also relieve people that, like, day one, they don't have to have something prepared. It would be kind of a softer entry. So that way we can show, and then also, then we can show. So, hey, if you look at your tips page,
here's the standard.
Notice that I didn't have a lot of words on my slides, or notice, I did this, and I'm trying, see if I had points and stories and application, try to look for the highlights that we've pointed out, that how I'm using them. And like I said, that's the point of our group, is to make sure we're tight on those too. So, but then we set ourselves up as like, listen, this is the structure we use. Hopefully when we present that first day, they're all like, wow, he did a really good job. Right. This is gonna rock for me. This is going to be that time. So that's kind of what I was thinking, I guess, is I will present day one. And then after that, I'm the facilitator. I'm your teacher. I'm here to help you. But I don't, I'm not going to participate. So maybe I have 6 people, and I'm number 7 as the facilitator only. So
that brings up a good point to consider. We do probably need to offer a demo session of, before I spend $500, I usually like to know what I'm getting. Now, if it's reach out and we know exactly, and we get somebody, yeah, absolutely, we're in no matter what, but maybe there would be a good idea for that first call to be kind of a demonstration call of, and really have it, like you said, Matt, our systems tight, our process and structure and content, something they want to for sure buy into.
Yeah.
Before we collect money. I don't know. That's just a thought.
I think it's a good thought. So here's my thought. They come in, they're on mute for our call.
Okay.
If you want to see how it works, you're welcome to join our call in the morning.
Great.
but you will not be speaking and you will not be given feedback. You are just to watch.
Oh, interesting.
So,
Okay.
and you'd say, look, is this something that you want to be involved in? Yes or no?
Or we record one that we really like and we let them see that one.
Ooh, that's
Oh,
good
yeah.
too. That's really good, Joanna.
That way it
I
can
like
go
that.
to a lot of people. So maybe we set up the week before the start date of it's our test. It's our test run, our dress rehearsal.
Yeah, I like that. I like that a lot, actually.
Well, I mean, you could just say, look, you're more than welcome to, look, we've got a recorded call. You can get in it. And so we're going to work on being tight, right? I mean, like having a tight meeting. I want to work on the structure a little bit, and then a little bit, and then we'll get some feedback on it. I'll ask Matt, would you be willing to work on the manual? I think that was a great idea. Get kind of a draft for that together.
Really good idea.
Joanna, what do you think would be? Because I think if I get the structure together, Matt,
I think I could help Matt with some bullet points there.
Yeah, Joanna, I was writing down. I think one thing we can all contribute are, tips and stuff we've picked up on our own for presentations, right?
Mm-hmm.
Just like I said, not a lot of words, whatever it is, and then we can compile those as the Keynote Crusher tips.
right?
But we also, like Joanna said, I really like the idea of let's come up with a good value statement. What are you getting out of this? Maybe we need a quick summary. Welcome to Keynote Krushers. We're going to help you develop a 1-hour keynote speech over the next 3 months. You're going to learn how to not only present, but be critical, give feedback, and we'll learn from each other. The value proposition is, you're going to have a dynamic 1-hour speech that you can go out and charge in your community to deliver the success principles, and be confident that you're going to do a good job. Something like that. So those are key pieces of this manual we'll put together that, I think we could all work a little bit on too.
Matt, you have a conversation offline of just how we could share this task and contribute, and that will take pressure off of Chris. If he get the structure, we can have a good checklist. I think we're enough on the same page of what we've expected from each other on this group call. Because we could write 64 pages on tips for speaking, but if we could get to the ones that we've agreed are important and that we've structured, that we strive to achieve in our presentations. But yeah, I do think that would be something we could jointly work on, unless you see another place, Chris, that I can contribute.
No, I think that works. If you guys are willing to work on that offline, I mean, look, I'm used to putting kind of these structures together, having
Yeah, go for it. I'm not structure oriented.
I was going to say, Brian might want to help you, with the structure.
Well,
I think if you rolled with it, he could help you with some feedback on it, but I could tell you his plate is over full at the moment. But I know he's interested in.
Yeah, that's fine, man.
That was part of the original conversation. And really going really big picture, I could see this, like you said, Matt, I hadn't even thought about us individually leading groups. But I mean, if we each had a couple groups a week, there's that big format, that big platform, Chris, that we talked about early on of we've got 20 or 30 amazingly trained speakers are basically our own speaker bureau. And if Matt, you're coming to Oklahoma and I'm like, hey, I need a fitness, I want this, we can kind of cherry pick within our own structure here to help each other with paid speeches. And then, even bigger picture, doing a bigger platform of great speakers together.
Yeah.
It is one of the hardest parts, to find other good speakers when you're a good speaker yourself.
Yeah. So here's my thought, and I just want to make sure I plant this seed, because I know that this is something that Brian and I had spoken about, Matthew and I have spoken about, and I just want Joanna, you to get it.
Mm-hmm.
So here's
I don't have to listen?
What's that?
I don't have to listen then? You said you already spoke to me about it. I'm sorry. Go ahead. I was just sorry.
I think all that hair's damaging your brain.
I don't like when you're mad.
I just saw a 6-year-old Matt. I love it.
Am I blushing?
Oh, Daddy's
I feel like I'm blushing.
Fill me in, Chris, because I think I don't know exactly what you're going to say.
You know what? Should I tell you? We are going to, just as a point, we are going to kill this on stage when we're together. I mean, I truly believe that. We're going to put together a heck of a show. and people are going to have a lot of fun, and they're going to get a lot of great content. I feel that. I got my goosebumps right now. But the idea here is, and I want to plant this seed, is I'd like us to pick a date. So we'll start getting the structure together, and then we'll say we're going to have an event in Las Vegas, like a place where it's easy for everybody to get to.
Mm-hmm.
And from the keynote development speech, look, what we're going to be doing is we're going to be developing, we have a yearly, event, and part of this keynote group that you get is your ability to be selected to become a guest speaker. And I kind of see the format as the 6 founders, or the 4 founders, I would guess, say 4 founders, and here's the structure. So if you look at what Jack Canfield does and just the structure, it's a point. I tell my story, and we're looking for the application. What we do is we bring up a secondary speaker who's done a great job in developing their keynote speech. Let's say it's around taking 100% responsibility. So I tell my story and say, look, I'd like to introduce you now to Sally. Sally has a really great story that relates to this. And she comes up and she speaks for 15 minutes her story. And what Matt and I have talked about is us unpacking it a little bit. So I tell my story. We bring this Sally, Steve, another S person.
Yeah.
Samantha, whoever it is that come up, they talk, and then we unpack the story a little bit. Look, guys, what did you get out of it? So what I got out of it was this. It's almost like the keynote speech. Wow, this really connected with me. There's no area for improvement in it. We just talk about what connected with us and what we got out of it. Then maybe Matt unpacks it a little bit. Joanna, you unpack it a little bit, or we decide how it's going to go. Now, how are you going to apply this in your life? And then we talk about the application. And then we have them do a Jack Canfield exercise. Mm-hmm. So now, get down. If I were to take 5% more responsibility for my life, I would do the, do the event. And then it's just another chapter in that piece. Now we're going to be talking about taking action. And I have so I tell my story about taking action. Now it's Matt's turn to be the principal person on taking action.
So would the overlay of this be our audience are other speakers or want to be speakers? So we're not retraining the success principles. We're guiding a training on how to speak about them, how to use them in application.
No,
I mean it's like a success principles workshop.
Oh, okay, I follow you.
Right,
for the lay people. The
best of our groups, the people that we just say, look, here's our nominees. We got 5 nominees, and we put them on a call and say we got 4 spots for our event in Vegas, and we got 10 people.
Got it.
that we're nominating for it, who are applying for it, and we'll go through a process of they'll go through a process to be selected. And they say, look, wow, we really thought that. So they get an additional value add and a potential to get up on stage. Because look, it's one thing for us to sit here and talk about this and do these speeches, but then go out and do it. Mm-hmm. And having an event to go to. And here's the advantage of it is look, pick Vegas. I might be able to get 50 people there. Matt might be able to get 150 people just because he's got hair. You're a good-looking woman. You get 400 people, and then we have the other people that bring 50 people each, and they're crossing. Gosh, I love Matt. He's just so handsome. What more things does he do?
Well, that's why TED Talks works. Is you get a bunch of great people giving a 15 to 20-minute presentation on great stuff. So the format's been proven. Versus hearing one person. I mean, Jack's one of the few people that can pull it off for a week, and we're all still awake.
Yeah. Share the stage. I like it.
Well, share the stage, and we develop it, and it gives people an opportunity for us to work together, get some great content, do these things, and develop it. Because I see it growing, and the image I have in my head is the movie. Now You See Me. With the 4 horsemen. If you haven't seen the movie.
Okay.
But you're up on stage presenting, and it's a flippin'. It'll get to the point where we're packing UNLV.
Good to me. That's what I want to do. Where's my vision board? I'll show you.
Well, you're on your phone, so you can move around nice.
Yeah, I can.
Yeah.
I moved everything while I was gone. I can't find anything.
I'll show you a picture. Look how cheesy this is, but.
Oh, I like it. That's not cheesy at all. I gotta go find my vision.
My Photoshop skills are.
No, I love it.
They're
What
lacking
I
a
find
little.
weird is that you're facing us instead of the audience.
Hey, never miss a camera opportunity, brother.
You have a double jointed neck.
I'm all, hey. So, you know what? As we're talking out loud, I like the idea of not letting anyone else join our 4 horsemen group, as you call it, Chris.
Yeah, that's nice. And it's a good number.
Yeah.
No
So
tiebreaker, but I'm sure some of us can talk louder than others. Should we need to?
Well, the tiebreaker will be Brian's robe. Now,
he threatens to take it off and let you see his long johns. There's the picture right there.
I'm seeing is corkboard. Oh, I like it.
I like that. Yeah.
There's, that's a solid 4,000 people right there.
Yeah. Yeah.
So,
awesome.
the one I have is from stage, and I believe it's like RFK Stadium in Philly.
Cool.
Wow, that's good.
You know, it'd be fun. I don't know now because that's Brian's picture that I found for him to put on his board. My picture is just me on a mic, but maybe UNLV's a good spot. I might download that picture now.
Yeah. Let's all have the same picture. Maybe we should spread one around.
Yeah.
So we're all having the same vision.
Put all 4 of us in there.
Yeah.
Okay. I will add that to my task list. That sounds like something fun and creative I can do today.
Awesome. I really like that. Another thing I'm thinking too for our show that we can keep in mind is what is going to be our how to get you from where you are to where you want to be slogan. You know, let's keep that in the back of our mind. So what's the point of our show? I know we're trying to enrich people's lives, make people wake up, things like that, but change the world.
Look, Matt, I'll put it simply. I think we should, you develop this here and we've been talking about it, and it'll be around choices, your superpower. The manual.
I love that.
The manual for making inspired choices. That's it.
Superpower. Oh my God, Chris. And you know Wonder Woman's like my obsession.
No, I didn't. Nice.
Oh yeah.
See the outfit?
No, that is not to be shown. But I do have
it's under the outfit she's wearing.
No, I do have this painting that it's the profile of Wonder Woman, and the woman that drew it is actually my nail person. So everyone accuses her of making it of me, but a girls collective of artists made it. But anyway, you'll see it one of these days. It's one of my profile pictures I rotate through.
Right.
Choice is your superpower. Where did you come up with that? That is awesome.
That was in Matt's. That was what a throwaway line Matt had in his thing, and I'm like, Matt, what the hell? That is genius, man.
Genius. Yeah, that just rattled out one day because I always heard that knowledge is power.
Uh-huh.
And I'm like, I don't know. Yeah, choice is your superpower. So
Matt, if you're okay, that's what I really think that's the brand we build around. I think.
Let me think of copyright things and
stuff. I was going
to say, hey. No, I'm absolutely fine with it. And the cool thing is, my website is Make Inspired Choices. Mm-hmm. So maybe that's another thing we can think about is our web presence for this too, because I don't mind sharing that with everybody. I mean, I'm glad I got it when I did because I haven't done much with it, but we can make Inspired Choices into something bigger too.
Right. But that's what it is. I mean, we've kind of talked about this a bit, Matt, and our intention is to work together on a book on this. And what it'll do is it'll also help us with, I believe, the content for the presentations. But in my opinion, it's for me, it's just hugely catchy. And
it is.
And it's like when you talk about that, so that is what I see the themes. Like we have the manual for making inspired choices. And what it does is it lends itself to go, what does that mean? Right? I want to know more. That's what I like about it. Is it's like the manual for making. I want to make inspired choices.
And it's different. It's not hitting your potential, how to get to where you want to. It's not yet a catchphrase, but we could probably make it one pretty quick.
Oh, it will be. Absolutely.
But it's not over. It is.
It'll end up on South Park. I made an inspired choice. You know what I mean? People make fun of it. It'll be great.
Yeah, Joanne, if you could also make T-shirts today, then that would be great too.
No problem. I have on my Soul Sparkle T-shirt right now. Okay.
Oh, I like that. Can I tell you? I like that idea. Just as a separate note to create T-shirts on it for us. Like we're going around and like, and I have a graphic artist. My niece is a graphic artist, so T-shirts.
Nice. Yeah,
we need a logo. Vistaprint's perfect for printing if you already have your logo. I mean, these shirts I made for Nicaragua were like $12.
I like that. We do need a logo. We do need a logo.
And look at and have her noodle this idea. So she's a graphic artist. She does stamps and all.
Just don't get us in trouble with Marvel or DC, but go real up to the line.
I know.
That's a good point. I'm gonna have razor blades in my knuckles by next week, like piercings.
I'm just gonna be fuzzy.
That shirt's finally coming off, man.
No. We don't need to see that.
Whoa.
I like that. Look, guys, I'm excited about it. I think this was developed within this group, and I would say that I think this is the avenue that we walk down, because it's gonna catch people's attention, and now we just got to work on the content and deliver it, and we'll have a system that feeds into it. So,
yeah, this feels good. I'm glad we had this talk. Thank you, Law of Attraction.
Thank you, Law of Attraction. Well, the part that I'm realizing is you just want to get
Brian.
He's back, but I'm in his way because I got on his.
I gotta get my next appointment.
Oh, okay, maybe not. I thought I'm sitting his computer because I tried to log on there.
Show us his robe.
Yeah.
Actually, he's in a suit today.
I know. Disappointing.
The tie and everything.
That's not what we want to see.
So, Matt, why don't I just send you an email with just my bullet points on what we just talked about?
Yeah, awesome. That'd be great.
All right, so I think we got some good action items. What I'm going to do is the structure for next week will be relatively simple. We're gonna be talking about these pieces. Maybe we'll go over my initial outline, like the draft of what I say the structure is for 3 weeks or for 3 months. And then what we'll do is you guys will talk a little bit about the manual and what our key points are. And I'll see if Brian's available. I know he's kind of crazy this week, but look, I put this kind of stuff together a lot. So I'll get a rough draft together.
Okay.
That'll be my commitment for next week, and then we can go over it and fine tune it.
And I'll fill him in on what we talked about. I'm sure he'll probably watch this call. How soon do you get this on? Because I really just want to transcribe what Matt said about the value proposition, because I don't know, you didn't even miss a beat on what's inclusive of that, but it was really good. So I want to transcribe that and add that to the manual notes.
It takes about 10 minutes for it to download, and then I can get it up. I try to get it up in the first. Oh my God! I just heard the words that came out of my mouth.
Don't overpromise. It's okay. I just want to know when to come back to revisit.
Yeah, Chris, I wasn't even going there.
Matt was not going there? How is that not even possible?
I know. I'm disappointed in myself.
I made the perfect setup. Like, hey, no.
I know. Sorry, bro.
I will work on getting this uploaded to YouTube.
All right. Hey, we can. I could also, for the logo, do one of those Fiverr things. You know, those websites where you have all the people just collaborate and give you some shit. We can maybe get one of those going. I don't have any idea right now what would be a good logo yet. Do you guys have any thought?
I'm telling you, mash up DC and Marvel without getting in trouble. I don't know how you do it, but
off the top of my head, male, female, C. Chest.
We got a logo guy now.
A male,
What?
female with a C on their chest. Choice. Choice is your.
Oh, very cool. Okay.
Yeah, what about like a blacked out, almost cartoony stick figure with a cape and then like a little C,
Ooh.
like, a man and a woman maybe
Yeah.
facing or something, but, blacked out. So it's not like a black
like
guy
the
or a
idea
white guy or.
Giving
I
your
have a
niece
guy
an
that does this.
opportunity. I love the idea of giving your niece an opportunity, but for $5, give her a starting point, Matt.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Yeah.
Might be worth it. Just, let her see what's in our head just now.
Yeah.
Scary as that sounds, but
Okay.
That's so I like it. I think this is a great start. I'm going to put the structure together, and we'll plan on restarting our group on April 1st because I like what you said, Joanna. Let's get a really tight, like, kind of recording together.
perfect call. Mm-hmm.
And that's our look. If you're interested, here's the call.
Mm-hmm.
Pay attention to the call. This is the structure, and then we kind of nail the structure.
Yep. Love it.
All right.
All right. Have a good one, guys.
Quick recap. So April 1st, we're restarting our group.
Mm-hmm.
We're not going to reach out to anybody just yet as far as the mastermind group on looking for other people. We're going to keep it tight to this 4 people, like the founders group. Is
Right.
that correct?
Mm-hmm.
All right. And for next week, Joanna and Matthew, you guys are going to work on the manual.
Mm-hmm.
And what I'm going to do, my action item is to work on the structure for a 3-month kind of a 3-month proposition.
And did we agree that we wanted to have some initial conversations of people that we might want to invite, but not necessarily have a starter? You want to get through this next round of structure and manuals before?
Yeah, let's hold off on that, I think.
Yeah. And then, because what
One
I'd
more
like
week.
to do is, if we get people raising their hand and go, just hold on a second, we still have to work out the structure.
We don't want to be unorganized. I follow you. Okay.
Yeah, I think we should at least have something that we feel is pretty tight and say, look, we're ready to move forward. And we can tell people, look, you're getting in the early stages here, so it's only $250. I don't know.
Yeah, for sure.
And say, but understand it's a work in progress, and we're working forward. And this is our goal. Our goal is to have an event, a yearly event, in Las Vegas, where we have professional baseball players on stage battling it out.
I'm sorry. I'm so distracted when she wears that hat, man.
I know your poison.
Yeah, right. Awesome. No, this is awesome. This feels really good. This was a good call, you guys.
All right.
Thanks, guys. Appreciate
All right.
you for your patience.
Those are our commitments for this week. I'm going to stop the recording now, and we'll get on these ideas, and we'll meet back next week. Fair?
Sounds good. Have a
Thanks,
great day, guys.
Bye.
Peace.